Hey guys, my name is Ronster, and today you not only get to see the presentation of my updated rig, but also you get to hear my voice for the first time. Right off the bat, we're gonna go check out Ronster's rigs. So right now I'm just checking out all his limbs, starting off with the arms, and I'm using my G key for moving his limbs like this, because what this is called EDAP. It's a really cool plugin for Adobe Animate. It helps you move everything in a sort of 3D space. So yeah, right now, for example, I'm trying out the pelvis and his torso as well. Using my G key, I can move these guys around, and the limbs before it will adjust itself accordingly based on where I move it and how I move it. And right now, this is the front view. We're gonna go inside we're gonna take a look at his arms. Now, you might notice these colorful letters on his forearm. Those are actually folds for the creases of his elbow or his arm. So what that means is, rather than having to arrange the layers so that they look dimensional when they're overlapping other limbs, is that I can go inside this fold here and just make a crease in said direction, so I can save time rather than having to copy paste the limb that I want overlapping the other limb. And I could just simply create a new fold. That way it's a little easier, and it's a neat little trick I picked up during work. I think it's come in handy, and I think it's really cool to use. All right, we're moving on to the other views. The profile view, we're checking out the functions of these limbs with these things called the SMR helpers. You'll notice those little circles on his wrists and ankles. Yes, those are the SMR helpers that make the rig move like this possible. And also how his knees bend whenever he's being dragged down, as if there's like a floor underneath him. And it's super cool and super easy to use. And I think it just makes the production flow much faster, rather than having to calculate, each step we take using the old parenting technique. And right now we're checking out the hands, looking at all the different kinds of hand shapes that I've made for him, as well as the feet or the shoes. I am planning to make more of those, but that's for another time. So let's go inside his head and check out his facial features. Now, what I have here are these pegs next to his head that are set to a guide layer, meaning you won't be able to see them in the final render. And we're just going through his eyelids and eyebrows using this thing called the Smart Graph Control. So what that means is we can link symbols together, so that way we don't have to pick the frame for them frame by frame with a frame picker. I'm saying frame a lot. So for example, his mouth, I can use this SGC control to link his head shapes to said mouth shape. And yeah, I think it also saves a lot of time for production, so that way we don't have to pick the mouth shape and then pick the frame for the head for that mouth shape. So yeah, that's another cool thing about it. And you can do the same with like eyelids, eyebrows, and pupils. And see those green panels next to his head? Those are actually the pegs that said body parts are parented to. So for example, you have the eyebrow peg, which is at the very top, the pupil peg at the second to bottom, his face peg third, and ear peg last. And yeah, that's another cool thing, that these facial features are parented to these pegs, so that way we don't have to we don't have to scurry through each layer and pick a certain facial features or select a bunch of facial features. We can just simply use this peg feature to move these facial features so that he gets a nice 2.5D parallax kind of movement whenever he's turning his head, nodding, and yeah, and you see those blue cyan pegs up there, those are his eyebrows, or eyelids, excuse me. Yes, those are his eyelids for, you know, selecting the eyelid in case you can't see it. And yeah, that's about everything you can see in his head. I'm really glad to have presented this to you guys. I feel very happy about this, and yeah, thanks for watching.